What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Hasbro Transformers Legacy United Sandstorm. So this is the leader class from this latest wave, and I like to take a look at the leader class figures from the Hasbro line. I tend to not get a lot of stuff from the Legacy line, but this one interests me, of course. It is kind of a Voyager size with the leader class price, so it does come with a lot of stuff. And it's a triple changer, so there are a lot of parts count. But we'll get into that a little bit later. One thing I wanted to mention right away is in the unboxing, which was a members only video, I mentioned there's a problem with the chest. And I thought maybe, there's a fix for it, but I looked and it seems to be a common issue. This peg just is a little too short and it pops out very easily. Now, people suggested using some super glue in here, and then that will help to give a little bit of friction to hold that peg in there. I haven't done that yet, but I probably will do that. But it is definitely a big issue because the chest doesn't stay. So as you articulate him, he does kind of come apart there. So I just want to mention that up front. But other than that, it does look really good. Let's start off looking at the head. You got that nice orange paint on the top, blue for the eyes, gunmetal for behind the eyes, silver for the face. He does have a face mask. That's not really what Sandstorm looked like in the G1 cartoon, but I love the look of the head sculpt. It looks very nice. Orange paint here, Autobot Tempo. Gunmetal with silver there. Orange accents on the shoulders. You've got silver for the shins, yellow here on the toes. Here's the back. It does have a little bit of waffliness on the back of the legs, but overall for a retail figure, it's pretty clean. Nothing on the arms, no waffles, no gaps. Let's go over his articulation. The head's on a ball joint. It's a little bit tight because there's stuff around it, but if you hold right here, the head goes down to there, up to there, not much. Rotates around. You can get a little bit of side to side, but it's really kind of hindered by all the stuff around it, but it does look around. Shoulders rotate around on a friction joint there, out to the side on a hinge. And you have a reverse butterfly if you unpeg it there. Not really meant for that, but rotation at the elbow. Single joint elbow gets you a little past 90 degrees. You get a rotation at the wrist, and you can see this starts coming apart. Kind of frustrating, to be honest. Rotation at the waist, up to there. Backpack kind of hinders it. Legs will kick up to there, back to there, out to the side on friction, nice tight joint there. Rotation at the thigh on a mushroom peg. You have a 90-degree bend at the knee. Ankle tilt out to there. And forward and backward on a nice tight joint there at the ankle. And we do get a couple accessories here. We get his blaster, just done in black plastic. Definitely has waffles, and that will fit on the side here if you want. And like I mentioned, this chest kind of becomes an annoyance. You can store it back here if you want to stow it away and not use it, like that. Or you can put it into his hand, and I think that looks good. You also get this smaller blaster just done in gray plastic, very plain. That can fit in his hand, although I think it looks best here as kind of a side arm piece. Or you can store it on the back. And we also, and let's just store this here so I can show you the final accessory, which is this cage that has a winch on it. So you can, kind of roll up the rope here. But if we extend this out, you can take this will plug into here, and then you can take the other end, and he can pretend to hold this if you rotate the hand up, and there you go. He can be catching some bad guys in there or whatever. You can just have fun with the display. It's a neat little thing. We don't get a lot of this kind of stuff with a winch and the string to kind of display. It'll make more sense when we get to the alt mode, but here you can use it. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Earthrise or Netflix Optimus Prime. And he does come in shorter, so the leader class thing is definitely at question here. It's not even the same size as other Voyager scale. But I understand, it's more plastic, more complexity. But there you go for comparison. All right, now let's get Sandstorm transformed into Dune Buggy mode. So I'll start by bringing the chest down, which happens too easily. It really collapses too easily. I don't know why it doesn't plug in there. Pull out on the head. You're going to rotate the head back and then flatten out this gray piece. This is going to come back. It's going to peg in here. Just make sure it actually pegs in. It's easy to miss just because it doesn't line up perfectly. But there you go. You can hear it kind of click into place. We're going to take the legs. You can fold the heels onto the toes and then fold the feet back. Bring together the legs. And it's a firm tab, so just firmly tab that in. Open up these panels here on the side. This is going to come down, and we're going to collapse the legs in. So slide them down on the slider all the way. And then this is going to sit on top and just tab in like that. Bring the arms down on this panel. We're going to open up this, fold the hand in, close that up. And then this tab right here is going to end up in this slot right here. So line that up and just rotate the arm until you get it in the right position. So I should tab in like that. And then same on this side. Open this up. Fold this in. Close that up. Rotate this so this it's vertical. And then bring this down and plug this into the front panel. So it should look like this. All right, now we'll come to the back and finish up this. So we're going to take this, and this becomes a spoiler. His helicopter blade becomes a spoiler. So you can use it in this mode, just like this. It does roll nicely. These are rubbery tires, which really surprised me. Hasbro products of late have not had rubber tires. But we can bring in the rest and really complete this thing. So go ahead and disassemble this. You're going to take this cage. Actually, first take this winch. Wind up the rope here. So this will peg right back here. This will peg on top, kind of like a race car cage, which I thought was really neat. Come to the bottom, you're going to take this. This is going to wedge in between here. So get these two tabs pegged into the sides. And this is going to peg in on the bottom. Just squeeze that in there. It looks like that. And then we can take the guns. I love when everything stores away. Take the gun and store that there. And then you take this gun and it becomes a turret on the top. And now it looks really good. This is a really thoughtful design that you can store all the weapons. And it does look good. I think it looks better like this than it does without the weapons. All right, and for a quick size comparison, there it is next to Optimus again. This time it does actually look bigger. All dimensions, it is larger. So I can kind of see leader class here in this mode, but the robot mode just too small. But all right, now let's get Sandstorm transformed into helicopter mode. So go ahead and remove the guns. You can remove this cage. And by the way, you can use this as a winch in this Dune Buggy mode. So it's kind of nice. It works out that way. And we can remove this. This can kind of come off on its own as you transform it, but I'm just going to take it off so it's not in our way. Just set that aside. And now we can start working on transformation. Go ahead and unplug the arms from here and just put those out like that. Open up this head part here. And we're going to flip this around. And we're going to accordion this back down into the chest. I'm going to take this, fold that in, and you can open up these panels here and leave this folded back like that. These are going to flip out and to the back and just sit like that. This one the opposite way, kind of like that. It doesn't really matter, you can do one or the other, but you're going to bring this around and then bring this around. You can see how those wheels end up sitting on top there. Like I said, you can do either one in the front or back. This is going to come down and tab into the side right here. Same for this one, tab this into the side. And flatten this out so the head is flat down like this. Then we'll take care of all this. Open up this panel, pull up on these. They're kind of tabbed in right here, so you can just pull those out. We're going to rotate this to the other side. So it sits right here. You can unplug these from the side. They're just tabbed in right here. And we're going to flip this all the way over. And we're going to push these panels out while we're doing it. Then we can bring this over, close these up, close that up. This is going to just tab onto the top like that. Leave this there for now. You can straighten up that tail fin. And now we'll take care of this front part. Go ahead and rotate this, open this up, rotate this 180 degrees. And then bring this down. This will fill in this little gap here. This will come down and fit right into here. And then same for this side. Rotate this back, rotate this 180 degrees. Bring this down. And make sure it's on the double hinge. But it should make its way down. And then you can tab this front nose cone section together. Looks like that. And last step here, and we can fix this, just kind of straighten all this up. Last step, go ahead and open up your helicopter blades. They just lock in at 90 degrees for each one. All right, and there's Springer in his helicopter mode, and it looks pretty cool. Got some black paint here for the windows, silver paint here for the front there. Here's the side. It's pretty clean for a Hasbro figure. You do have the spinning rotor blades and the spinning tail blade. You can open up this tail if you want it to look more like a two-piece fin. It does look a little ugly this way, but you have that option. And overall, a nice looking helicopter. You have wheels back here and the front two wheels, so it can, roll on these wheels. Although it's a little stuck right now. There we go. So you can roll it on those wheels. And of course we can use all the weapons. We can plug in the gun on the side here. And we can plug the other gun over here, however you like. And we can use this little cage. There's a little spot where we plugged in the chest. It is actually really tight. So, because I put some floor polish there to try to tighten up the chest, this is now very tight, so it's kind of a fatal flaw with this thing, but if I push it really hard, I think I can get it in. There we go. And then we can close this back up. And now he can carry his little cage here and fly around. Whee! And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Earthrise Optimus Prime, and again, scales off. It's big in the dune buggy mode, but smaller in the helicopter mode. It's a very good looking helicopter, just kind of small. So, final recommendations on the Hasbro Transformers Legacy United Sandstorm. This is a tough one for me. I like the vehicle modes. Both the dune buggy and helicopter work really well. They're very solid, and it just comes together nicely. I love the integration of the accessories in all three modes. The guns work in all three modes. The cage, and I forgot to mention this, you can store it back here on his backpack like that. So in all three modes, you can use the cage. I mean, everything just works, except for the fatal flaw of this figure, which is the chest. This just barely hanging on right here in this pose, but that is such a frustration as you're posing it. You know, it constantly falls, comes apart. It also affected the helicopter mode because when you tried to plug in the bit for the cage, it doesn't fit if you try to put some kiki or floor polish in there. So it really is a frustration point. This could have been an amazing figure, but because they have that issue with the chest, that's something I expect from like a KO company or from like a third-party company that's new to the game, not from Hasbro. You know, mass marketing, mass producing these things, they should be able to figure out something as simple as the peg that attaches the chest. And I'm not alone in this. This is a common issue with this figure. So to me, that really knocks us down to a 3 out of 5. It should have had the robot mode be spectacular, but because of that, it's really frustrating and annoying to deal with. But if you're planning to use it and just display it, and you can fix that problem, then you might actually enjoy this. Well, because it comes broken, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.